Hey everyone, I'm here with your teacher tech tip of the week. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so as part of my tech tips, I really wanted to go over some of those workflow situations with your Mac desktop or laptop that we often get ourselves in, where we feel like it's hard to find things. We have a bunch of stuff open, and there's some easy things you can do to troubleshoot and solve some problems, but also just make your day in the workplace go better. So if you have a Mac laptop or desktop, there's a couple things I want to talk about. One of the things that I featured in this poster that I've been putting out just to help you problem solve those day-to-day tech issues is your Spotlight search. And so I'm a huge proponent of the Spotlight search with my Mac. It's this magnifying glass up in the top corner. It's really simple to get to this way, or you can also do Command Spacebar. And I feel like I live on it because what it does is it allows you to search your computer and also the internet and a bunch of other easy places. I'll give you an example. If I'm looking for a file that's a PDF, I might type it in here, and it's going to list all of my PDFs. Okay. If I'm looking for something more specific, like I know that I just worked on a training that I want to provide people, it's going to bring up not only my emails, but any PowerPoint presentations, maybe some calendar events, my AP trainings right here in pages and documents. Like all of this stuff is going to come up, even the definition of training, some internet sources and things like that you can find. You could even ask it a question. So Spotlight Search operates a lot like an internet search. So how do I upload a video to Google Classroom? I could search here and I'll see there's some stuff in my email about this, and then I could even find some stuff in history. Maybe I've looked it up before. And there's just a lot of ways that you can use this. So if you're somebody who doesn't know what folder something's in, you know what file type it is, but not the title, or you just need to define a word, I always am defining words in Spotlight Search. Spotlight has a bunch of really great features that I think we often don't use. So that's the first thing that I think is really important. Another way to easily get to places that I think we often forget is the Go tab up here. And Go lets us see recent documents, desktops, that like it'll bring us to our desktop folder in Finder, which mine is a nightmare. You can kind of see I have these folders all over the place. You can do AirDrop. Like I always struggle to find my AirDrop settings on my laptop and my desktop to easily get people items. And so you can go to AirDrop. Your drive applications is another one we often forget, how to access our apps, and so that's an easy way to go there as well. So your Go button is another one of those really simple places that can help you navigate in and out of something. So that's another thing. The other piece is last week I put out a video and I talked about split screen mode, and I'm not just leaving my website up here hoping that you'll go to it to get tech tips. I'm going to show you split screen mode on your desktop or your laptop. If you're somebody who might like to have two windows up evenly proportioned, maybe you're in financials or accounting, you are comparing two spreadsheets, you're reading something and taking notes, this type of split screen mode is really great for that. So what you do is anything that has a window with the red, yellow, green, this like little stoplight system over here, you drop down the green button by clicking on it, and all of a sudden it inverts and it gives you this half of the screen and it will pop that up. And if you want the second piece to go into that, you click over here on it and it'll allow it. So like here's my poster and here's my website. I can now bump these in just like you can on the iPad by sliding your scroller to make one bigger or one smaller. And that makes it really easy to work in a split screen mode if you don't want anything else popping up, nothing else in the background. It's super simple to do. By bumping your cursor up at the top, you can then exit out by hitting that green button of this one. And then the next time you open up that other piece, which would be my flyer, you bump that one in too. So I think it's a pretty simple process. And that's really about all there is to that split screen mode. That's not to be confused with multiple desktop mode, which is the other thing that I think we can talk about today. So something that goes super unheard of is the way that you can use the top row of your keyboard on a laptop or a desktop. So you're probably familiar with the brightness displays, which I'm hitting right now on my keyboard, and then your volume displays, which are also there. And that's oftentimes all that we remember to do. But F3 is this dandy little, navigation tool that you can use to project a bunch of different things. So if I brought up a couple things that I have here that I consistently have open, um, and I want to see what is happening on my desktop, I can hit F3 and it sorts it all out and it bumps it out into Windows for me. Okay. The other thing that it also reveals is this top bar here. Okay. I now have 3 desktops. And what that means is I'm in desktop 1 currently, but if I hit F3 again, desktop 2 is this blank desktop. And if you're somebody who works with confidential information or information that you often just want to conceal, let's say for student grade book, you don't want kids to come up to your desk and see it. If you operate with a couple desktops, you can switch back and forth and then keep your work on that other desktop. I will say I get some people in here that typically lose things, and it's really just hiding on another desktop, so be careful with that one. Okay, the last thing I want to show you is a shortcut that I think makes life a lot easier. And one of those things is that as Mac users, we often wish that there was that Control Alt Delete button, not realizing that there really is. So when you have a dot underneath all these applications and it's running, like for example, my Grammarly, you can right click and quit, of course, or you can actually command quit when you're in an application. So if I'm in Safari and I want to command quit, I can just do Command Q and it will close that app for me. On top of that, if something won't quit and we can't get it to shut down, we miss that old Control Alt Delete feature. But a Mac does have it, and it's actually a Command Option Escape. Okay, and that's what brings up this force quit piece. And that force quit piece allows us to, get out of something and then relaunch it if we want, or just exit out of that pesky thing that won't go away. And that's Command Option Escape. And so if you try it on yours, you should be able to do it as well. Some of the things that I put in this poster that I think, are really helpful too is along with that Command Q and those reminders to try and, power something down and redo it. And some of those keyboard shortcuts is also the screenshot. And so a good example of that is Command Shift 3 will take a screenshot of your whole page. It now in Mojave bumps it down here, and then it will automatically save to your desktop if you don't touch it. Or if you do touch it, it'll just take a second for it to bump over here like mine just did. If you wanted to take a selection of a screenshot, you can do Command Shift 4, which I have in this poster for you, and now I get to drag over what I want the screenshot to take. So that also will save. It bumps down here first for easy access if we want to grab it, and then it will save right below this one right here. So that's about it. Those are my basic workflow tech tips for this week for you Mac desktop and laptop users, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or want access to this training or this poster, you can go to my website. Thank you.